For this segment, Halifax Inspired is on the road and cooking with Michelle MacLean, Holisitc Health Coach.
Hi folks, and welcome to the Halifax Inspired vlog. I'm actually really excited about today's segment. I'm here with my good friend and holistic coach, Michelle MacLean, and we're actually going to be doing a food segment, which made me really excited to be able to wear my fabulous samurai a little cover here, so I'm really excited about that. So today we're going to be making a very special dish, which is, let me get this straight, gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan. Does have a little bit of sugar because it has dates, so some natural sugar, no refined sugar. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're actually preparing today?
Sure. Thanks, Allison. It's really great to be here. So today we're going to do a raw zucchini marinara. So we have the beautiful spiralized zucchini noodles, and we have some tomatoes, some fresh tomatoes and some sun-dried tomatoes, so taking advantage of the beautiful tomatoes that are in season right now. And we're going to season that with some dates, some fresh basil, some garlic, some olive oil, a little bit of rosemary and oregano, and a little bit of sea salt and lemon juice. So it's a really fresh, beautiful dish, and I love it. I've been eating it all summer long, and it's just a great way to utilize the zucchini and the tomatoes that are in abundance right now, and it's a really light and beautifully flavored dish, so I'm really excited to share it with you today.
Wonderful, and I know that we'll talk about this a little bit later as well, but you've done your training to be a holistic coach, and a large part of that is actually nutrition.
That's right.
So is there anything special about this dish that we should know?
Well, like you had mentioned in the beginning, it is dairy-free, vegan, and basically sugar-free except for the dates, and gluten-free. And really what I like about it, I mean, the tomatoes have lots of lycopene, the fresh basil and the garlic have lots of wonderful micronutrient properties. So it's just together, I think, a lovely dish for the summer. It's nice and refreshing, nice and cool for those humid days. And now as we're transitioning into fall, I like it as well because the zucchini and the tomatoes are so plentiful right now. So overall, just a really healthy dish with lots of great nutrients.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm just really excited to try it because it smells absolutely fantastic.
So in the raw zucchini marinara dish, we have two medium-sized zucchini. I have a yellow and a green, and we've run those through the spiralizer, so we have beautiful zucchini noodles. And then we also have two types of tomatoes, so we have 2 cups of fresh tomatoes and then about 3 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. And then for seasoning, we have about 1/2 cup of chopped fresh basil and 2 chopped fresh dates. And then topping that all off, we have about 1/2 cup of fresh olive oil, 1 clove of garlic. We have 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary. And we have juice of 1/2 of a lemon and some basil leaves for garnish. And also for this dish, just a couple of tools that you'll need: a big bowl for mixing, a wooden spoon, perhaps some tongs, whichever you prefer to stir with, and just a large tablespoon.
All right, so I guess we'll just start mixing that together. So we have the large bowl, you said.
Yep.
And so yeah, let's go ahead and make this fantastic dish.
Alrighty, so we're going to start by making the toppings, so the marinara. So we've got our 2 cups of fresh tomatoes, and we'll just put those into the big mixing bowl, and add to that our about 3 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes for a nice smoky good flavor. And then we're going to add in our dates, so our chopped dates, 2 chopped dates for a little sweetness. It's the mystery ingredient that everybody wonders about. And then we're going to add in our basil. So we have about 1/2 cup of chopped fresh basil. And some garlic, 1 clove of garlic. So we're just putting everything in here. 1/2 cup of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
I wish you guys could smell what I smell. This is absolutely
I know,
amazing.
the basil and the garlic is great. And then we have juice of 1/2 lemon. 1 teaspoon of oregano and 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary.
Rosemary is actually one of my very favorite seasonings.
Yeah. And about 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And we're just going to stir that all together. So sometimes the dates are a little hard to get well blended in there. So I even sometimes like to use my hands if you don't mind getting your hands a little dirty. Kind of feels nice a little bit. So we'll just blend all that in together nicely.
My husband would be absolutely mortified.
Mortified?
He hates getting his fingers dirty.
As long as your hands are clean, they can become good mixing implements. All right, so that looks pretty well mixed together there. I think we've got all the dates. They just tend to clump together, so nice to get those all broken up. Once the olive oil hits them, they tend to break apart. So there we go. So we've got all that nicely blended in there. So what we're going to do now is take our zucchini noodles, plate those up here. So we'll take our tongs and make sure we get a nice variety of the green and the yellow. Whoa, they're really long. Some of them are really long.
Wow, that's going to be challenging.
They look so beautiful.
So how did you hear about this recipe, or how did you come up with this recipe?
This recipe was passed along from a friend of mine, and I think she adapted it from a couple of other recipes, and I have seen similar recipes around. There's lots of recipes for, you know, raw marinara type sauce or topping, and I love this one because of the fresh dates and the sun-dried tomatoes. So yeah, it was adapted from a few different recipes. So
I think that's the way most of them go. I have a ton of cookbooks in my kitchen, and I very rarely use any of them.
I like to just flip through for inspiration and mix and match, and well, I like this part from this one, and I'm going to add it to that one, and I think that's a great way to be resourceful and come up with your own new ideas.
Absolutely, and I'm a big believer and one of the things that I try to get across with the Halifax Inspired is that, you know, we're all creative in different ways, and I think many of us are creative in the kitchen, and that's one of the ways is to, you know, take something and adapt it and just play, and I think that's really fun.
Yeah, so making it your own and, you know, omitting ingredients that you might not like or that you may have an allergy to, or, you know, finding a substitution for something else. It's just a great way to cook and experiment and play. So we're just going to add some of the marinara topping onto the top of the zucchini noodles. And like Allison said, it does smell heavenly and delicious. The garlic and the lemon and the basil really makes for a delicious lunch. So there we go. See, we're going to top it off with a little
that
basil.
looks absolutely amazing. Hope you can see that there, but I wish you could actually taste it, but I feel very fortunate to be able to do that myself.
Can't wait to dig in.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, this smells so good, but I also wanted to get the viewers a little bit more of a view on you and how you're creative, and to maybe help them to kind of realize how they're creative, or, you know, how they may, you know, need support to kind of express that part of themselves and to live happier, healthier lives. So I know you know, obviously I'm a creativity coach, and so I like to work with individuals to kind of help them to kind of tap into how they're creative, because I think that that's really essential in how we feel both emotionally and physically, to be able to express that part of ourselves. I think that there's a lot of dissatisfaction that happens if we deny that part of ourselves, and we forget, like, as children that came naturally, and now we have to kind of work at it a little bit, and sometimes we need a little support for that. And you as a coach, I know, feel it's very important as well to work on an individual basis, and to be able to kind of find solutions for those individuals.
That's right.
So this is kind of one part, I guess.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you want to maybe talk about how you've kind of evolved as far as your coaching, and how you like to express yourself creatively.
Sure. So definitely nutrition is a huge part of my health coaching practice. But really I like to look at the individual from a holistic perspective. So looking at things like career and physical activity, relationships, spirituality, and nutrition. We really need to look at the full picture to see what areas that the person may need to do a little bit more work on, or they may be flourishing in one area but neglecting others. So cooking and being creative in the kitchen is definitely one area for me that I do love to express, and shopping at the farmers market and eating locally and seasonally, and using the beautiful harvest that nature provides us, I think is a wonderful way to express creativity. So the other area for me is around, I guess, the physical activity and the spirituality. It sort of blends those, is through a movement form called journey dance. So I've been teaching that here in the Halifax area for a couple of years now, and it's just a beautiful way that I've found to be able to let go of my head. I'm a big thinker, and so lots of analyzing and deep thinking going on, and it's a real great way to let go of your head and really get into your body and just let the beautiful music just take you away. And as you were saying, as a kid, I did lots of things like gymnastics and tap dancing and figure skating, and so lots of ways to express my creativity. But as we grow up, and we're looking for a career and a job and relationship and buying a house and things like that, we forget, about those things that we did as children. And so I think for me, there was definitely this little girl inside of me who just wanted to come out and laugh and play and dance. And so I found Journey Dance at the Kripalu Center for Yoga in Lenox, Massachusetts. And, in my first class, I was leaping through the air, and I had tears streaming down my face because I had just really found this place inside of me that wanted to be free. And so that little girl definitely came out that day and danced. And she hasn't stopped ever since.
Some of you might actually remember the Journey Dance segment that I did during my 30-day social invigoration project. And I'll include a link here as well in case you want to see a little bit of information about that. And I'll also include some information about how you can attend one of her next classes, or how you can connect with Michelle to actually do some holistic health coaching. So you can learn how to make these lovely dishes for yourselves, and how to live a more balanced and healthy lifestyle. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our segment today, and I look forward to connecting with you guys again. But please feel free to comment below if you enjoyed this segment, or if you have any comments, or if you'd like to see anything else along this line as well. So we'd love to hear about you, or hear from you about the segment. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.